There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, by the sounds of it, there's 50 million reasons why Anthony Joshua's taking this fight. In my head, I never, ever thought this fight would happen. Why? Because of Anthony Joshua's desire to be in the history books, to be a three-time heavyweight champion of the world. To me, it shows me his desire. Pick up 50 million along the way. Nobody can knock him for this.
Heavyweight veterans have started giving their predictions for the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup. Tyson Fury did not hold back when asked how he thinks the fight will go. Speaking to the Ring magazine a few months ago, Fury said he didn't believe Joshua needed any tune-up fights and claimed Jake Paul would knock him out. According to Fury, Paul would stop AJ because Joshua is past his prime while Paul is still building momentum. He added that he actually likes Paul's new heavyweight appearance, saying Paul now looks a little chubby and a bit bulkier. Fury also mentioned that Paul looked solid when he beat the aging Chavez Jr., who was originally a middleweight, and said he enjoys how Paul calls out fighters from every division, from featherweight all the way up to heavyweight, describing them as RTO or scale callouts.
Possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight.
In a surprising twist, Jake Paul hinted that his fight with Joshua may not be fully locked in. On X, he wrote that he's not holding my breath for 2025 and blamed too many yes men. Joshua's most recent fight was a harsh knockout defeat against Daniel Dubois at Wembley in 2024, and because of his long break afterward, Joshua fell out of the heavyweight rankings. After Paul's scheduled bout with Gervonta Davis was cancelled this weekend, Mike Coppinger from The Ring reported that Paul and two-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua were close to sealing a deal for a Netflix event on Friday, December 19. Coppinger noted that the deal was for a real professional heavyweight contest that would appear on both fighters' official records. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's longtime promoter, confirmed publicly that the match would be a true fight under Queensberry rules: 3-minute rounds, 1-minute breaks, and 10-ounce gloves. Rumors suggest the purse would be split 50-50, with each fighter taking home around £70 million just for entering the ring. Paul boldly claimed he would beat Joshua, saying the British star has no chin. Surprisingly, Tyson Fury, whose younger brother Tommy handed Paul his only career defeat, supported Paul instead of backing his fellow Brit. At 28 years old, Paul has fought names like Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and currently holds a professional record of 12 wins and 1 loss. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn told BBC Radio 5 that people were getting ahead of themselves. He insisted Joshua still has a major fight with Tyson Fury planned for next year, despite the heavy rumors about the Paul deal. According to Hearn, we may run out in 2025. We were just going to have a low-key fight somewhere. If that is going to ruin the run of Mr. Paul and earn tens of millions of dollars, then maybe. Nothing is confirmed. Joshua, who grew up in Watford, reportedly told Sport 1 that Fury has to fight him. Elsewhere, former world heavyweight title challenger D.
For Jake Paul, absolutely crazy. Jake Paul is a domestic level professional fighter here in the UK. Would he win a British title? No, I don't think so. So now they're putting this domestic level fight in with a former heavyweight two-time champion of the world. The weight is 245. So I think last time Anthony Joshua weighed around that, it was when he boxed Usyk. That means he's got to be fight fit on point, because his last fight was 18 stone. I think it was 254 against Danny Dubois. So now he's basically saying you've got to get yourself in position, get yourself fit, and get yourself ready for fight. It's not tiddlywinks.
Former cruiserweight world champion Tony Bellew strongly opposes the matchup, but gave the stomping ground his prediction about the fight's length. According to Bellew, the fight lasts as long as Joshua wants it to, plain and simple. He argued that the professional boxer decides how long the match continues. David Haye also warned that no special rules would save Jake Paul from being knocked out by Joshua, saying Paul's best hope is a quick ending. Although people criticize Paul's opponents, he has still become one of the most talked about figures in boxing with a 12-1 record, most wins coming over retired MMA fighters. His biggest victory was beating a 59-year-old Mike Tyson. His single defeat came from Tommy Fury, a beginner who became known mainly through Love Island. Joshua, a two-time heavyweight champion and one of the strongest fighters of his era, presents an entirely different challenge. Hay told Metro that compared to Joshua's other potential opponents, this is one of AJ's easiest fights. Hay said, "This isn't Tyson Fury. This isn't even Francis Ngannou. This is a cruiserweight with 13 fights, who lost to Tommy Fury." He added that AJ is an Olympic gold medalist and a two-time heavyweight champion, and that he gives Paul absolutely no chance if the bout is made. Even if rounds were reduced to 2 minutes, Hay said the fight lasts only as long as Joshua wants it to, as long as he's allowed to hit Paul in the head. Many people are worried about Paul's safety because of Joshua's punching power. Former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou experienced this firsthand in March 2024, when Joshua knocked him out almost immediately. Hay believes Paul's only hope is that the fight ends quickly and brutally, which would minimize long-term injury. He explained that fighters usually take serious damage after many rounds of being beaten, especially when dehydrated or worn down. But he thinks Joshua will finish Paul early, resulting in maybe a swollen eye or sore H.
Reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami.
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people will watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one.
The fight idea, originally pushed by Logan Paul's younger brother back in March, has already faced backlash from fans who see it as a huge mismatch. After Canelo Alvarez turned him down, Jake Paul began targeting a boxing champion he claimed has no chin. The 28-year-old former Disney star admitted on his now shut-down podcast, "I know my limits. I want Anthony Joshua because I know I'll beat Anthony Joshua. He doesn't have a chin, he has no real skill, and he's stiff. Anthony, I love you, we're friends, but I still want to fight you." Instead of going straight after Joshua, Jake picked a completely different opponent, WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, a 5 feet 5 inches fighter who weighs nearly 100 pounds less than the much bigger British heavyweight. They were set to fight on November 14th, but the event was suddenly cancelled. The cancellation came after Gervonta Davis was hit with a lawsuit. An ex-girlfriend accused him of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and intentionally causing emotional distress. A few days later, Jake Paul's promotional company called the fight off after its own review. A statement from Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix announced, Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Casilla Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer take place. Nakisa Bidarian, CEO of Most Valuable Promotions, added, "We've worked closely with everyone involved to handle this situation responsibly. Although we're not moving forward with this event, our plan is still for Jake Paul to headline a Netflix event in 2025. Jake Paul then hinted, much like Muhammad Ali once did, that he fully intends to face Anthony Joshua and defeat him. Jake shared a screenshot of an Ali speech that read, "All of you chumps are going to bow when I whoop him. The man's in trouble. I'm going to show you how great I am." According to early details, the fight is expected to go 8 rounds, each 3 minutes, with both fighters wearing 10 ounces.
Well, my thoughts on it is that Jake Paul's had a lot of accusations over the years for a guy who's had no amateur fights. What's he had, about 10 or 12
Fights, yeah.
fights? I'm not sure what he's had. And, you know, you look at the opposition he's had and people saying, when's he going to fight somebody? He stepped up. He's stepping up to a 2-time world champion, a genuine heavyweight, a proper heavyweight champion, and an active fighter. And this is a big moment for him. And you've got to take your hat off to him for that. As regarding AJ, I'm sure AJ's wants a fight back after that, that unbelievable loss he had against Daniel Dubois. That's quite an emphatic loss. He wants to come back, get himself, dip his toe in the water. He's going to get paid a lot of money for this. This fight's going to generate a lot of money because for me, it's a fighter. Jake Paul's going to be a massive underdog against a big favourite, a big odds-on favourite. Can he do it or not? This is a car crash, and people will watch it because that's what people do, a car.
That's everything for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming uploads.